What happened? I thought Tupperware was extremely hot. I have like 1 million of them, and I know that they experienced a little bit of a boom, if you will, in the pandemic.
Right, Katie. Tupperware was a super hot stock during the pandemic, for very obvious reasons. We were all at home, we were all cooking. It's also got that multi-level marketing business model, so people who were looking for ways to earn extra income from home, that was appealing at the time, but things changed quickly around here. Now we're more out and about. Sales fell, they had supply chain issues, and that's brought us here today. They're in trouble once again.
So, what exactly are their options right now? Because we talk about a brand that is a very strong brand name here, but at the end of the day, they're not really making anything terribly unique, right? They have a lot of competition.
Right. So right now, Tupperware is very much in need of extra cash. So they are bringing in these advisors specifically saying, we are going to raise additional financing if we can. But yeah, when we say the word Tupperware, a lot of the times, we are thinking just generically about food storage. And I think that is, one of their problems these days. It's a pretty low barrier to entry product.
Right.
Well, Katie, what are you doing with all of your Tupperware containers?
I don't know. I just open the cabinets and like 1 million fall out. You'll have to ask my husband. He does all the cooking. I don't know why.
Have you bought any recently?
Again, you'd have to ask him. Whenever I go in the kitchen, I get shouted out. But anyway, Claire, talk to us a little bit.
Can someone get him on the phone right now? Is this a call-in show?
I'd love to. I hope he's watching. But in any case, Claire, tell us a little bit about the financial advisors, because Tupperware didn't name names, but I know that Bloomberg has been following this closely.
Yeah, so Bloomberg reported today that the financial advisors are Moelis and Kirkland & Ellis, two shops with really deep expertise in these kind of emergency capital raise restructuring scenarios. So that really tells you sort of how dire the situation is. And of course, they also said, there is substantial doubt about us continuing as a going concern, which is a classic bat signal to the market that things are very serious.
Very serious. And of course, it comes at a time where just the environment, the financing environment is totally different than what it was even a couple of years ago. If you were a struggling company, you could have come to market. Maybe you paid a little extra, but it wouldn't have been too onerous. That's changed a lot.
Right. And so Tupperware was very smart during the pandemic. When they had this boom, they did a big refinancing, then pushed out a bunch of their maturities. But it is different now. And one thing they said that was causing them a lot of issues is the fact that they have all this floating rate debt. Interest rates are higher, and that's causing them problems just trying to keep up with those payments.
And so, Claire, like you said, Tupperware here, it really needs cash. What sort of timeline are we talking about here? How much time does a company like Tupperware have to turn things around?
Yeah, so they have a bit of time, at least on paper, it looks like. They don't have any debt really due until 2025. That being said, you typically want to take these maturities out well ahead of when they're actually due. And so they are certainly, with this signal, looking to raise, in the coming weeks or months.
Is there a sense, when we talk about the going concern statement and the idea that there is a financing element to this here, do we have any sense of a timetable? I know we've talked about other companies that have basically, if they haven't explicitly said we've only got X many weeks here, you could kind of extrapolate when that countdown clock has to end.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say, and they definitely probably have more ability to kind of wait and see than, say, the Bed Bath & Beyonds, where it's, a 3-week deadline.
Yeah.
So, we'll have to wait for more information.